Yo, what's up everybody? This is your boy Canadian back with another video. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about the iconic Nike sneaker. One of the best-selling sneakers in the Nike collection, the Air Force Ones. The Air Force Ones is one of, if not the most iconic sneaker that Nike has ever designed. And I'll go through the history of these shoes, talk about the most iconic colorways, and show you guys my own collection of these shoes. So please stick around and we'll be right back. The history of the Nike Air Force Ones goes all the way back to 1982 when Nike designer Bruce Kilgore came up with the design. The name Air Force One comes from the famous airplane that the President of the United States travels in anywhere he goes in the world. At the time of this creation, Nike already had a wide range of sneaker designs, but nothing for the basketball courts until the Air Force Ones came out. It was initially only released available as high tops. It was the first air cushioning on basketball shoes that Nike has ever created. The original high top design looks very bulky with its hiking boot design and chunky also. Just 1 year after the release, Nike signed 6 top NBA players on contracts to wear the shoes, a high top version on the court. Jamal Wilkes, Michael Thompson, Moses Malone, Calvin Natt, Bobby Jones, and Michael Cooper. Despite their popularity, however, Nike decided to discontinue the Air Force Ones just 2 years after they were originally released. With constant innovation, the Air Force Ones just couldn't keep up with the other shoes. In 1985, Nike decided to release the sneakers in 3 colorways to a trio of sneaker shops in Baltimore. Within days, all 3,000 pairs would sell out. The Air Force Ones became the favorite shoe of the US East Coast, especially around the New York area. Its simple design and versatility really makes the model extremely popular. Because of the popularity, Nike decided to stick with it and released new colorways almost every month from 1986 to 1991. During the 1990s, Nike released the now iconic all-white Air Force One low tops, which is now one of the best-selling sneakers in Nike history. Because of its simple yet slick design, many colorways has been released for this shoe, and many companies, singers, designers, and other famous people have since done collaborations with the Air Force Ones. These shoes now have over 1,700 different types of designs and collaborations and colorways. Another identifying characteristic of an Air Force One shoe is a small medallion secured to the bottom of the lace, but with holes on each side so it can be removed by sliding off the shoelace. Air Force Ones is one of the most popular sneakers in the hip-hop culture, from Jay-Z first giving the sneaker a shout-out in his 1998 album, to Nelly making a song named after the shoe. And since then, rappers everywhere, especially, loves rocking the all-white Air Force Ones, due to its simplicity and iconic design. Like I said before, there's been over 1,700 different designs on the Air Force Ones. But if I showed you every one of those designs, we would be here for at least 24 hours, or even if not more. It's just way too many to go through. So to shorten this list, I'll show you guys my favorite Air Force One designs, right? The ones I think are the most iconic. And I'm going to show you guys as pictures, and I'll go through these shoes with you as well. Before we do that, I just want you guys to know, if you know me, then you know I almost never wear white sneakers, right? Even though the iconic Air Force One low top whites is one of the best selling sneakers, I can never wear shoes like that, right? I like to keep things clean, so wearing white shoes outside gets way too dirty way too fast. So these shoes are not in my collection, and it will not be part of my list either. Also, I'm not a hype beast, so I know there's been a lot of collaboration with Supreme, Off-White, brands like that, like hypebeast brands. And I don't like any of those shoes, right? Yeah, it's a little controversial, but that's not me. So again, those shoes will not be in my collection or on my list. The first pair I'll show you are these Air Force One Low One World clots. This was released as part of the limited edition One World releases in 2009. Nike and Clot paid homage to Chinese New Year's, and the company Clot, for all those who don't know, right, was created by the famous Canadian Chinese singer, actor, designer Edison Chen. These shoes are very uniquely designed with a silk upper and the air cushion unit on the heel. Other Air Force Ones did not have the air cushion unit on the heel or the silk upper. This is very innovative by Claude and Edison Chen, right? Something that nobody else had at the time. I really like these shoes because they represent the Chinese culture. All red upper with hints of black. It really makes the shoe pop out, right? And the design on the upper, the silk design with the little symbols on the upper, really makes the shoe stand out amongst others. Next, I'll show you guys the Air Force One Chamber of Fear pack that was released as a tribute to a 2004 martial art themed advertisement campaign to promote the Nike Air Zoom LeBron 2s. Although I am the furthest thing from being a LeBron James fan, I'm not a fan of LeBron James. But this pack is very cool. Due to the commercial that was made, like I said before, the whole commercial had that old martial arts film to it, right? Very, very interesting. In this pack, there were 6 shoes that was released, each one given a name representing the forces surrounding the chosen one, I guess, who was LeBron James in the commercial. The six different forces is temptation, hype, self-doubt, complacency, haters, and the rarest of them all, fearless warrior. 5 of those 6 Air Force Ones released regionally in extreme limited quantities of 150 pairs. So it's very difficult to find those shoes right now. And the last pair that I told you, the Air Force One Chamber of Fear, Fearless Warriors, never released to the public. Only friends and family of Nike and LeBron were seeded to the shoes, right? Making them one of the rarest Air Force Ones on the market. And you guys can take a look at the design, right? The red and black upper with the yellow swoosh, and on the back it says Chamber of Fear. Yeah, it's a very uniquely designed shoe. If I can get a hold of it, which I definitely cannot, right? I will definitely have these shoes in my collection. Now, moving on, next ones I'll show you are the Air Force One Lows blue tattoos made by the famous LA tattoo artist Mr. Cartoon. Mr. Cartoon worked with Nike in the early to mid 2000s, completing a series of Air Force One designs that showed love to the city of Los Angeles, and each of his designs featured the fine pinstripe style brushstrokes. It has his tattoo style on the upper, on the different panels, and these blue tattoos feature navy and gray with spiderweb detailing on the toe box, right? You can see right here. A graffiti style LA embroidery on the heel as well, and several other graphics. The reason why I really love these shoes because I love tattoos, right? And Mr. Cartoon tattoo style, if you don't know, really has that Chicano LA vibe to it. And it's very unique to that region. And I've always been very intrigued by his tattoos and his designs and his ideas. Alright, moving on. The next pair I'll show you guys that I really love and is in my top Air Force Ones of all times is another pair by Mr. Cartoon. This time it's called the Livestrongs. It's mostly black and yellow this time, and the design pops out a lot more compared to the blue pair. You can see some of his tattoo style on the side panel as well, right? Same kind of designs on the blue pair and the yellow pair, but the yellow pair really pops out a lot more. And his style and the way that he designed the Air Force One is very different than any other shoe on the market. All right, moving on. The next pair I will show you guys are these Air Force One Lows, Shady Records. For those who don't know, right, Shady Records is a record label created by my favorite rap artist, Eminem. And these Air Force Ones are an exclusive drop by Eminem to celebrate the 15-year anniversary of his album Encore. These were never released to the public, only friends and family got them. And I love these shoes because Eminem is my favorite artist and I've been listening to his music ever since I was a kid, right? His music really helped me get through some hard times in my life, and the lyrics that he writes are just insane, mind-blowing. Any shoe that Eminem designs and collabs with Nike or Jordan instantly becomes a grail. Anything that gets released to the market instantly sells out. And all his shoes on the resale market, the prices are insane. It's very, very difficult to get any of his collaborations. Like I said, right, Eminem's shoes are very insanely hard to get, even on the resale market, right? And to get for an affordable price, that's even more difficult. Now, let's take a look at these shoes, all right? It has a black and white colorway with the Shady record label logo on the heel and the reverse E, which is Eminem's signature style on the front panel. Now, moving on, let's take a look at these Air Force One Low Lux Crocodiles, the brown pair, and the Lux Anacondas, the white pair. These were released to celebrate the 25-year anniversary of the Air Force Ones. These were the first time Nike released a 4-digit retail price point to the public. Now, why were these shoes so expensive? Because they were handcrafted in Italy with premium materials, right? The brown pair has crocodile skin, the white pair has like snake skin. The style features 24K gold-plated lace tips, anglers, and the Dubray. The Dubray is what I was talking about before, the little medallion on the front of the shoe, right? The very iconic design for the Air Force Ones. If you take a look at these shoes, you can tell from the picture that it's made for a different clientele. It's definitely not made for the regular Air Force One crowd. These shoes made the classic Air Force One model into high fashion shoes, which you could wear with any fancy suits or tuxedos. I truly love the material and the design for the brown pair. Again, I'm not into white shoes, so the brown pair is definitely my favorite out of the two. But again, too bad. It was only limited to 1,800 pairs and it's super expensive. Any pair that you can see on the market. Alright, next pair up are these Air Force One high top Rasheed Wallace Ball Don't Lie version. Rasheed Wallace was the multiple-time All-Star NBA player back in the 2000s, mainly with the Detroit Pistons. He actually wore these shoes when he was playing in the NBA, right? It's got his logo on the back heel, which is a little silhouette of him shooting the basketball, and the phrase, "Ball don't lie," on the strap of the shoe. Why does it say "Ball don't lie"? Because when he was playing in the NBA, he always shouted that phrase, "Ball don't lie, ball don't lie," to players when he thought the refs were calling a terrible foul on him. And he came up with that phrase because when he gets a bad foul, the ball shouldn't go in because the points didn't belong to the other team. So he would shout that phrase. And yeah, some players actually miss the points. The simple colorways to these shoes make them an easy shoe to rock anywhere. You can take a look. It's white and hints of blue, right? And it's a very, very clean pair of shoes. And I used to love the way Rasheed's high energy style play. And I love watching him play in the NBA when he was there. So these shoes are definitely on my list. Next on the docket will be the public schools, right? There are 3 colorways in the collab with the label Public School New York. They are known for their deconstruction of sneakers. Adding that style to the Air Force Ones, you can take a look, is very, very unique. I used to actually have the gray pair, but sold it a while back. So let's take a look at these pictures of the black pair in more detail. You can see the premium leather used for these sneakers. It's a type of soft leather and it's very, very comfortable. When I had those gray pair, when I put them on, the leather felt very soft. It's very different compared to other leather shoes, right? And it fits on the feet very, very well. And these shoes, the unique looks of the stitching is a signature style by Public School New York. It's got a very exaggerated tongue and detached lace closure. You can take a look from the pictures, right? The design itself and the materials made me really like the shoes. Yeah, I actually should have kept my pair, but unfortunately I sold it. So that was the list of Air Force Ones I want in my collection and the Air Force Ones I really like, but some I cannot get and it's impossible to get. Now, moving on, I will show you guys the 8 pairs of Air Force Ones in my own collection here. And they are a range of different collaborations, different designs. So let's go through them one by one. Now, the first 2 in my collection I'll show you guys are from the collaborations with Cloud. These 2 pairs came from a pack after the red pair was released, right? And they're a little different than the red pair. And I'll show you what I mean after. But yeah, it came in 4 different colors. I only have the 2, but the 4 different colors are blue, white, pink, and black. And I have the white and pink pair. Now, let's take a look, right? These are the 2 shoes I am talking about. You can take a look. This is the white pair. This is the pink pair, right? You can take a look at the details on these shoes, right? It features a pattern on the ornate silk upper, symbolizes a Chinese tradition of luck and prosperity. And the details are very, very obvious, right? And the silk upper makes the shoe very, very unique and is very different from other shoes. This is the pink pair. You can see everything is pink, including the swoosh. And there's no air unit on this collection, right? compared to the red ones I showed you before. And this is the white pair. It's exactly the same design, just different colors. And you can take a look again on the details, right? Very nice looking shoes. Alright, the next pair I have in my collection are these Air Force Ones Chinese New Year's 2020 release. This one has an all-white upper and it features texture pattern mimicking that of animals, flowers, landscapes, and folkloric objects often found in traditional Chinese paper cutting. Okay, to take a look better in more details, right, I'll show you guys in this view. You can take a look at this design, right? There's many different symbolic designs on the upper of this shoe into the leather. Sometimes you can see flowers, different Chinese historic designs, right? Flipping them over, you can also see this side as well, right? Same thing, right? Looks very much like the paper cutting in people do during Chinese New Year's. So that's why these shoes are called the Chinese New Year colorways. Okay, moving on. Now I have these. Right, the Air Force One Low Golden Snakeskins that was released back in 2016. This was released as a pack for the 2016 Summer Olympics, right? And this is one of the most stylish editions of that pack. All the sneakers in that pack were gold, right? And they all had a golden upper. But again, this one is the best looking sneaker in that collection. Again, you guys can take a look, right? The upper is all gold, and you can see the snakeskin design on the upper, right? All around the shoe, right? Very, very cool design. And the snakeskin is very, very uniquely made. So it's a very nice pair of sneakers. Okay, moving on. Now, I have this pair, right? The Low Tops Spades that was released in 2021 to celebrate the two key cards in poker, the King of Spades and the Queen of Spades. This shoe features an all-black upper with paisley print design etched into the panels. You can take a look at what I'm talking about, the paisley designs, right? The paisley kind of style designs on the panels here. The details on these shoes are also very stunning. It has the regal red and metallic gold to complete the playing card theme, to go along with the black upper. It makes that shoe looks very high end and looks very much like the poker theme. And you can take a look on the heel of this shoe, which is a left pair. It has the king, right, the K logo on the heel. And you can take a look at the left shoe, has the Q, the queen logo on the heel. So the shoe design is the same except for the little logo on the back heel here. Overall, it's a very nicely made shoe. The details on these shoes are very, very stunning. Alright, the next pair I'll show you guys are these. Air Force One Lows Premium Year of the Dog, released back in 2005. Again, this is another Chinese New Year release, and this one is got premium leather uppers and different shades of red to complete the shoe design. Again, this is the upper of the shoe has very nice premium leather. If you touch it, right, the leather quality is out of this world, right, compared to other Air Force Ones. And it also has Chinese character for the Tibetan Mastiff on the heel here. You can take a look, right? The Tibetan Mastiff is one of the most aggressive dogs in the world. And some Tibetan designs on the back heel tab here. You can take a look, right? These are traditional Tibetan patterns. And the leather quality for this shoe really makes the shoe stand out. It's very comfortable to wear, and it really is very durable. A lot of my collection, especially for Air Force Ones, have that Chinese theme to it because that's part of my heritage, and I love the designs on these Air Force Ones, including the Chinese theme. The Chinese New Year releases usually are very, very nice looking, except for this year, the Year of the Tiger. When the shoe they released this year, yeah, it didn't hit as hard. I'll show you guys a picture right here. It was not on par compared to other years in the collection. Now, moving on. In my collection, the only high top pair of Air Force Ones is this pair. Right, the Air Force One High 2007 Premiums Hotline colorway. It's a high top Air Force One, which has a strap on the top here, right? Compared to the low top, there was no strap at all. This one has a big strap on the top. And this one is made from premium leather as well, just like the last pair I showed you. And the phone numbers printed all around the upper. I don't know if you can see the details, right? There are different kinds of phone numbers on the upper. That's why the shoe colorway is called Hotline. And another cool detail about these shoes is the metal loop on the front, right? The Dubrays on the front. Instead of the classic Dubray, just like a plain tag, this one actually has the 3 phone pads, right? Still says AF1, but it's very different compared to the other Air Force Ones. I love shoes with small details like that are different from other shoes, and this one definitely fits that criteria. If you can take a look, details again, very, very cool looking. The phone numbers on the upper and the Dubray tag on the front, very different looking sneaker. Now, the last pair of Air Force Ones in my collection I will show you guys are these custom ones I have. My wife actually bought these for me as a wedding gift last year when we got married. And you guys can take a look right here, right? These are the shoes I'm talking about, the custom shoes. It's got a hand-painted upper that has a dragon on each side of the shoe, right? You can take a look at this side. There's a dragon on this side. And it has the symbol of double happiness on the toe cap here. This symbol is used for Chinese weddings. I'll show you guys these shoes more close up like this in this view. So you guys actually see the details. You can see the double happiness symbol, right? And the dragon on one side of the upper and the cloud designs. All of these are hand printed designs. And the details I added to these shoes are the Dubrays on the front. You can see right here, right? That one says 牛年冲天, which is a phrase used during the year of the ox to wish success and happiness amongst the people for that year. And the year of the ox is the year me and my wife actually got married. That's why I added that small plate thing here. And I bought these keychains actually. You can take a look. Both together means double happiness, and one has my last name, which is Chen, on it, and the other one has her last name, which is Sun, on it. And I actually manually put these into the lace. These shoes actually mean a lot to me, and it will forever be in my collection. It means a lot more than any of those other Air Force Ones I showed you. Right? This is my favorite by far because of the meaning behind it. It symbolizes our marriage and the designs, the Chinese traditional designs on the shoe, as well as the Dubray tag I put in myself and the little tag on the shoelace as well. It brings it all together, and it's an amazing pair of sneakers. Alright, so today we talked about Air Force Ones, one of the most iconic sneakers Nike has ever produced. We talked about some of the different colorways I really like and the ones I want in my collection but unfortunately cannot have. And the pairs of shoes and Air Force Ones that I currently have in my collection. So if you love content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking that like button. It really helps me with my videos. And until next time, guys, peace.